I know. I'm just as surprised as you are. That's the way Mondays work. I started out early this morning with Mike and I and a few other people in a meeting, and then he left that meeting to go to another meeting, and we did our meeting, and then he and I got together for meeting number 2 on today's show and what our 2 meetings did, and cool, everything was fine. And then he called me a little while later and said, as a result, something has come up and cover the show. So good afternoon. Happy Monday. This is Monday after a holiday in the States. If you're not here, we celebrated Thanksgiving last Thursday. A lot of companies have Friday off. Our company doesn't, but you can use your floating holidays. I worked, as you well know, many of you saw, I did the show from a remote location. I was up at my kids' college. That would be Texas Tech, where we went to the football game and got Texas Tech really big cups. This is literally the tallest cup I have ever owned. I tried to put this in my ice dispenser to get some ice for iced tea just before the show. It wouldn't fit. So at any rate, welcome. This is the Mike Meyers Ask Me Anything show. I am not Mike Meyers. He's not available suddenly. He should be back Wednesday because we have amazing stuff going on Wednesday. You want to be here for the show on Wednesday. But until then, I am Dave Rush. I am the senior instructor at Total Seminars, filling in for the big shoes today. It's an open topic day. We're taking any questions. CompTIA certifications are our bailiwick. We're strongest in A+, Net+, Security+, ITF+, and just about anything else. If I don't know the answer, we'll take it in abeyance. We'll hold it in abeyance. There we go. Research it and talk about it on Wednesday, or I'll look it up. And we are not limited to CompTIA topics. This is a tech talk show. It's an Ask Me Anything. So we'll talk about anything that's not religion or politics, and the world is a happy place. We're going to do a contest today, as ever and always. We'll give away Total Sims or Total Tester or something like that. And I picked a question from the Total Tester database, and then I had this really wacky idea just before the show. So I'm debating. We'll see. But there'll be a contest, to be sure, and it's one that you could win. And if you win, you get free access to Total Tester of your choice. Al Mulford, I saw you on the Wednesday show. Mike was so wrapped up in his presentation about the RTX 4090 that I don't think he saw you. Apologize for that. I did put a message on the back channel, but he wasn't even looking at the back channel. So nice to see you again, Al. For everybody, I met Al in person a few weeks ago. He was at the, he's a relative, he's a family member of Mike's by way of third-party marriages, and a cousin-in-law who's a friend of a roommate of, you get the idea. But I was DJing a wedding, and he was there for the young lady getting married. Oh, debating. No, not going to do it. Not going to do it. Well, let's see who's here. Let's just start right down that road and get started right away. So as ever and always, Tolwick pops in at half an hour prior to showtime. Blue Lantern decided not to buy a Black Friday or Cyber Monday laptop. Instead, use that money after I pass A+ to build a PC. Outstanding. I love that idea. I totally love that idea. Good. Best of luck with you on that. And you know where to get help if you need it, but I'm sure you don't. I'm sure you'll be just fine. Beg your pardon. Mohammed El Abayed is here. Hello to you too. Yeah, I know it's Dave. Patricia Grace, her preferred name, is here. She used that account today. Cooley McCoolson is amongst the living today, as is TD Washington. That's going to be the price, okay? Your new name is now TD Washington. Scott S. I saw some Mike pictures online. Looks like he's doing big boat things. Yeah, so we're here on the Gulf of Mexico, and we have some lakes that are near the water, near the Gulf, and they get fed by rivers flowing in from the north. And so we have fresh water, big Lake Houston, and things like that. And we have a boat that's docked here in fresh water, the Texas, the USS Texas, big World War II ship. It's been decommissioned long ago and is here as a tourist and historical memento. And it has been sinking. It's got some really major leaks in the stern, and so they have these gigantic pumps that pump out as much out every day as enters. But you know, if you in there, you see the stern kind of hanging like that. And these things aren't owned by the government; they're owned by private restoration and historical societies, and so it takes a long time for them to come up with money to fix something like that. Well, somehow, somewhere, the money has come up, so they built effectively a dry dock around it and have raised it into the dry dock, and you can still do dry dock tours. And Mike took advantage of that a couple of days ago, went over and did a dry dock tour of the USS Texas, and he posted some pictures of his adventures on LinkedIn. I was the link that I saw. Where that? Okay, yep. So saw some pictures. Joey Quetzal is here. Joey, I sent you a response. I have not yet heard your response. Please take a look at your email that I sent back to you. I need that fourth value filled in. We went ahead and took a guess, but I need some confirmation, please. Thank you very much. Scott S. Amongst the living, talking to Muhammad Al-Abayad. Al-Abayad, the scale of the ship was crazy. Look, yeah, it really is a neat thing. Anytime you get to go visit any naval vessel at the World War II age, even the small ones. Between high school and college, I was out with a friend who had recently separated from the Navy. We were in Ohio, and he said, we have got to go to my old base. This was a Friday night after a, let's call it a night on the town. We got to go to my old base in Virginia, see my old buddies that are still down there. And so there was midnight. We jump in my car and headed to Virginia. Neither of us were particularly well employed at the time, so we didn't notice the job. We just took off, and we got in there, and we had very little money between us. And so it took about 8 seconds to sign on to for work. And we immediately went to work for a contractor whose job it was to remove flooring material called terrazzo. It's kind of like clay that dries really hard. You use them in areas that need to be waterproof, like shower floors and things like that. So we were ripping out terrazzo, and the contract happened to be for submarines. So we were all over all of the subs that were in base. You know, it wasn't just, here comes one in base, let's go rip the terrazzo. Obviously they were in for scheduled maintenance of a variety of type, and including this terrazzo thing. And that was a really interesting job. And I got to tour a lot of subs. I'm a big sub fan, at least I was then. Eki Tommy's here, I missed that. Muhammad Al-Abayad is saying hi to Techie Tommy, and I didn't see Techie Tommy's name. So this is scrolling through, there's not much here. Okay. Maybe he was here and he disappeared. I don't see him. Oh, you were asking, is Techie Tommy here? So I haven't seen him yet. Nah, I'm letting it go already. TD Washington. That's so cool. I'm sorry. Beware the eyes of Monarchia. So I was listening to the news this morning. I was going to comment to you later on the Discord channel. I was foolishly under the impression it was Mauna Loa, because I was going to put in a really bad anglicized spelling of Mauna Loa, but now I have to let that go, and we'll have to talk about the difference between Monarchia and Mauna Loa. Jason Helms, one of the mods of the unofficial Total Seminars Discord server, UTSD, has joined the ranks of the living. Mike, you have changed your, you know what? I have done this so regularly, and no reason to think that it won't happen again in the future at some point. I'm going to the costume shop this weekend and I'm going to buy a skin wig. I really am. Michael Lovell saw a submarine over the summer. Very cool. They really are. Juan Flores, howdy. Hola, amigo. Good to see you, my friend. Albacore. Is it the USS Albacore, or are you just talking about lunch? Okay, it's Mauna Loa that erupted. So what is Mauna Kea? The island on which it's located? Or is it what you put in to unlock the lava? Oh, but that is a Tullowit pun joke all day, if ever there was one. Hey, well, it is an AMA, and the easiest, best way to contact us and ask questions and post comments and so forth is to do so right here in the live chat. I'm coming back to that question, Michael, as I do have a good answer for that. But if that's not possible for you, are you not able to communicate with us live in real time on the YouTube chat channel? I am putting Mike's contact information up. Really, I am. There we go. So there's his email address. Here's his LinkedIn address. He wants you to link with him. And if you're not linked with him, then at least follow him. There's good stuff that he's always putting out, like pictures of in touring the USS Texas in dry dock. And since I'm doing the show today, some weird person may want to communicate with me at some time in the future. So I'll put my stuff up as well. There's my email address. Here is my LinkedIn profile. Where are we at? 10 minutes after. Why not? Let's get this up here too. There are other ways to communicate with us. For instance, the unofficial Total Seminars Discord channel, Discord server, as previously mentioned. It's a server that was set up by some folks who were watching Mike's show and said, I want to talk more about Mike in the show after the show, or some of the time when the show isn't on. So they built a Discord server, and it has grown by leaps and bounds and been through destruction and reconstruction and all kinds of goodies. It's enormous now in its scope. So there's all kinds of sub forums. Let's call it a little more title on this thing. Unofficial Total Seminars Discord server. Got a typo there. Semin needs an N. Seminars has an N. There you go. So there is an open invitation for you to join the unofficial Total Seminars Discord channel. I'm logged. If I'm awake, my computer is on, I'm logged in. You can ping me and talk to me anytime in real-time chat, or we can fire up a mic and a camera and shoot the breeze and do whatever makes you happy. Also, one other thing to post, just because you are kind enough to join Mike on his AMAs every Monday and Wednesday, and myself on Fridays, all same time, same channel, all 2 o'clock Central Standard Time right now. We have special offers and deals just for you. And I am posting that right now to the chat feed. This is 50% off a combination bundle that you create. You pick a topic listed there from the 7 topics that are available that you want to study. Pen Test Plus, AWS, Amazon Web Services, Systems Architecture Associates, Security Plus, CYSA Plus, whatever. Pick one of those 7 topics and then get 2 items. This is over at totalsem.com. Get 2 bundle items. They're specific. You got to get the ebook for that topic, and you've got to get the Total Tester practice test for that topic. You put them both in your bundle, in your basket, and then when you check out this week, the code is RACE, R-A-C-E, all lowercase, and that will get you 50% off of those 2 items in your basket. You put other things in your basket, you still pay full price, and they are still already cheap. So these 2 things are really cheap. To get 50% more off of them. That's why we don't have a Black Friday sale, because we just can't get any cheaper than this. I shouldn't be drinking this. We made this about 2 weeks ago. It's been in the fridge, but tea shouldn't taste thick, right? Iced tea. It's a little frightening. Well, that was the end of it. So hopefully it's not the end of me. Everybody wonders why and how I come up with these discount codes like race. And today's answer I have posted. It's always a historical event that happens on the Monday of the week that we're doing this week's contest. So today the event was on 11/28, 1895. You probably remember it, right? Yeah. All right, that's all the posting that I need to stick up there right now. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, Michael Lovell, do you any 3D printing? Yes, I do any 3D printing. We have 2 3D printers at the office. One that I got, and I got it for a price that turned out to be too good to be true, but fortunately, that's within my skill set to do electronics. And so I had to gut the electronics of it, purchase replacement parts, and rebuild it. And so it's one of the big open frame Arnett type ones. And then this past summer, I got for my son, because he's in his last year of mechanical engineering school up at Texas Tech, a dual-headed 3D printer. He and I used that through the summer. He's taking it up to school. I went and saw him this weekend. He printed me some stuff, and sometimes I will send him drawings and things like that for him to print for me, because I'm leaving the open frame one back at the office right now. I don't go down there very much. But yes, the short answer to your question is I do 3D print, and I really enjoy it. You asked because you're trying to get into resin printing. I looked at it. I've spoken with people who've done it. The product, the outcome is very good. The goo and the mess and the cleanup and the supplies. Ugh. I looked into it and said, nah. Now, I'll tell you one thing. If you get into 3D printing, anybody, the first thing that you're going to mess with is filament called PLA. It's nice. It's easy to work with. It's got a wide temperature range. It makes nice stuff. Do I have anything here in front of me that's PLA printed? No. We didn't realize just how low temp, heat sensitive it is. So it gets hot here in Texas in summer. If you leave a PLA printed thing in your car on a hot day, car inside temperatures can get up to 130, 140 Fahrenheit. That's enough to warp it. So you've got to be careful what you make and what your intended environment for these things are. We've switched for tough environment situations to ABS. ABS takes a much higher temperature to melt. It can handle much higher temperatures. It's a little more toxic. So when we do it, we get fans on it and blow the fumes outdoor. We don't let them accumulate in the house. And there's plenty of other types of filaments, but those are the big two, PLA and ABS. Again, a lot of fun, great learning experience. Stand by. I'm going to ask my missus for a favor here. She's under earbuds. Would you get me one more scoop? Thank you. There's a lot more in this cup than I anticipate that there would be, and I did 2. It needs 3. Thank you. Yeah. All right. Reading questions and comments. So there's all my junk. Zach is here. Another one of the moderators. Oh, by the way, and Tullowit's a moderator of the Unofficial Total Seminars Discord channel. Zach Morrill is here, and Zach has been having a good time with a hard disk challenge for the last week or so. Zach has a great deal of expertise in a great deal of areas. We all do, but every now and again, we all run into a technology wall that says, man, I can't solve this one. That's all right. That's what sites like the Unofficial Total Seminars Discord server are all about. There are plenty of people who don't have my blind spot, and hopefully I have some areas of somebody else's blind spot. So if you want to help Zach, I don't know what his direction is, where you're going with this next, but pop on in there. Go hit that invitation. I'm going to throw that up again because that's really important to me. Again, we have nothing to do with it. It's the unofficial Total Seminars Discord channel. It's not run or owned or operated by anyone from Total Seminars. It's people who were watching the show and said, hey, I want to make my own thing. Mike, shame on you. Let's see, that's not our mic. I don't think it's our mic. Old home week, everybody catching up, all you moderators meeting up together here. Go meet up on your own dang server, Matt. Hey, we were traveling a lot this week. Went traveling for Thanksgiving, and I have discovered some years ago that doing long road trips requires, for me at least, some audio distraction. And so I used to take my iPod, back in the day, and it's a good sized collection, but I don't always want to just listen to music, and you can't hear the same old podcast. You already know them all. So Sirius XM radio, satellite radio for me is with its 700 channels, and I'm a guy, right? I want to flip all the time. We just footballed out. There was no football on the drive up for the most part. So we had comedy channels on, flip and catch the news on occasion, but I just listened to comedy routines on the way up, and then just football on the way home, and football while we were up there. What a great and interesting and fun time we had. We went to the live game. Home team won. I've been to 2 of their live games. Literally, I've gone to a lot of live football games, and I've enjoyed most of them. These 2 games that I've gone to over at Texas Tech in the last year are the 2 most exciting live football games I have ever watched. There is nothing that tops it. They were great. And of course, in both instances, the home team won in overtime. So that much more. All right. I'll post pictures somewhere later. People catching up with each other. Mauna Kea is close enough to Mauna Loa that there is a remote possibility. Oh, so Mauna Kea is another volcano. Okay. Well, yeah, I would imagine they're all interconnected, though. I don't know anything about the geography of volcanoes in Hawaii, other than they're all the same. What am I doing here? Okay, was it spreader event? Nice, Patricia. Scott F. Age to perfection. Yeah. Oh, it's terrifying, the age. She just brought me an update to it. Let's see. That's much better. Thank you, dear. Okay. Xerxes is amongst us. Hey, Dave, hope everybody had a good holiday, a wonderful holiday. Thank you so much. So we cooked our turkey. We baked our turkey about a week before Thanksgiving. I don't know, 4 or 5 days, something like that. Carved it and then put it into storage because we were going up to visit the kid in college. He's got an apartment up there, but it's not suitable for making a full-blown Thanksgiving dinner for us and potentially the roommate and whatever. So we cooked it all in advance, and that when we got up there, all we had to do was heat it up in the oven, and same thing for most of the sides. And that was fun. That was just fun. But it's the first time for the kid that he's ever hosted Thanksgiving, so it's a good start. Abu Bakr Al-Hajj, next amongst us. Good to see you, my friend. In Total Sem website, do you have an international discount voucher? Yes. If you go to the main page, totalsem.com, you will see an image of a fighter jet. I think it's an F-16. And right near there, it says international vouchers, buy them here, buy them now. Click on that, and that'll show you the international vouchers that we sell. We did have the entire world that was available in the whole world. You can't test in the whole world. And they had to scale some back because they weren't selling or something. And CompTIA says, if you're not going to sell these, you can't keep them in stock or whatever, they get old or what, I don't know. But there's still, all the popular ones and all the countries where they still have large market for them. So yes, go to totalsem.com. You will find international vouchers there now. Isn't talking to Patricia. You tried, but they are discounted. You don't get an additional discount. Those are the discount prices. Those aren't the retail. I don't think they're the retail prices. I will double check that after this. I will call the people in charge of sales and get clarification, make sure, and we can talk about that on Mike's Wednesday show and again on my Friday show. Patricia, get some good soup. Stay warm. Speedy recovery. Yeah. Did you say swag? I've heard that fixing 3D printers is half of the experience with the more portable ones. I've never looked into it that far, but I can certainly say that was true with that one. I wound up changing 3 major components, and there's a lot of rewiring to pull that off. So you got a meet and greet convention, pay-per-view event. Cool. Let's see, Scott S. I watched a thing yesterday on YouTube about Adidas 3D printing and the sole of a new shoe. I could look for that. Okay, still don't have it fixed, says Zach, but got a new SSD and in the middle of installing Windows again. Okay, well, that works. I hope you can recover your old stuff if you need it. Mike says Long Island iced tea. Well, it tastes like Long Island iced tea, but it doesn't have the painful after effect. I can remember the last time I had a Long Island iced tea. It was 35 years ago. And I recall suffering mightily the next day because I had more than one, as I recall. Mohammed El Obayed talking to Abu Bakr Al-Hajj. Oh, great. Thank you, Mohammed El Obayed. Kilowit, and then there's Kilauea, which we all know. Oh, you know what? So there was Mauna Loa, 2 words. And again, I'm not Hawaiian. I don't study much about Hawaii. I always assumed Kilauea was 2 words in the same way that Mauna Loa is. So always an education watching Kilauea. Michael Lovell, listen to Harry Potter, narrated by Jim Dale. It's excellent. Might have missed your generation, though. No, I've suffered through, watched all the Harry Potter movies. Could I listen to it? Nah. What was the race? I posted up there an early race where the winner averaged 7 miles an hour in 1895. There wasn't much in the way of roads then, so it was very much an off-road experience. Mauna Kea, different underground lava source. No, it's not. It all comes from the center of the earth. You smoked a turkey for the in-laws dinner. Very nice. I smoked the in-laws. That'll be the last dinner that they'll participate with. Day before Thanksgiving takes too long, the day of. Michael Lovell, I haven't listened to the HP books, but I bet that would be a good setup. You're ever so welcome, Abu Bakr. All right, so I had something in mind. It's the half hour. Let's get this thing done and out of the way. All right, so I got a conundrum. Did I do enough setup to? Now, I'm just going to use a standard question. I picked an easy one today. If you don't know this, you can guess it. It's a reasonable one. So let me know. Give me type in yes if you are interested in doing a contest for a giveaway for 90 days free access to Total Seminars. How about Total Tester? There we go. If you would like your chance to win a Total Tester, 90-day free access to the Total Tester practice test of your choice, you must type in yes. Not a single yes. Not interested? I don't have to do this contest. I don't even know why Mike does this, but maybe this is the reason. Maybe you're just not interested. And I'm okay with that. You are exempt. You can still participate. By the way, if you are a recent winner or a frequent winner, you can participate. Put your guesses up there. It doesn't matter if you get the right answer and somebody else learns what you think is the right answer and they try it too, because I don't always pick the first one with the right answer as the winner. I try and pick one who hasn't won recently or frequently. So not to panic. You're becoming a Vulcan you're a volcanologist, huh? The other kind of volcanologist. we have lots of people here. So your odds of winning are still very good because there are so many people here who have won so many times that if you haven't won frequently or recently, all you got to do is get the question right. All right, I'll hold it off for a little bit. We'll ask again in a few more minutes and see if anybody's interested. There wasn't a single yes that says, yes, I want to do a contest today. If I don't do it, that's much less work on me after the show. It takes about a half an hour out of my life for each winner by the time I interact with the winner and then I interact with the fulfillment people. So there's an hour and a half of my life each week just addressing winners. So let's talk about other stuff. There's always something else to talk about. What is this? That is something that is of little value to you today. Hey, Mrs. Would you go grab in the warehouse under the towel, under the tea towel behind the keyboard, the musical keyboard, one of those DJ controllers? Thank you. Should have got that in advance. I did poor planning today, and I credit the short notice for getting ready for this show. Okay, so I'm going down here and putting this name in that search. There we go. Okay. Oh, I do not love Microsoft Word. Yes, there are three. Yes, okay, we got three people, three yeses who want to play. All right, we will do a contest here. It's 31. I'll do one in probably about 5 or 10 minutes. Thank you very much. Nope, sorry about. Share that in a few moments. Cooley McCoolson, I would, but still working on A+. Thanks again for the complimentary test. Wonderful. Yeah, you were a recent winner. And congratulations on the win, and I'm glad you're using it. Speaking of books on tape, says Scott S., what are some of your favorite tech-related books? Stuff that's interesting, but also educational. I don't have an answer for that. I don't read tech books anymore. I used to be a big sci-fi reader, and there are lots of people who have recommended to me histories. Bob Metcalf writes the history of Ethernet, and it's interesting. It gets fun little anecdotes and tricks and traps. And you know what? I don't think that I've ever learned anything from any of those things other than the ability to spit out trivia. When Bob was inventing the term Ethernet, the word ether came from air, nothingness, and the Floyd protocol. And, I can spit that kind of trivia out from having read that stuff. Nobody wants to hear that stuff. Let them read it on their own. So my reading, I spend 18 hours a day in front of this box, and I read everything, full articles, little blurbs, and everything in between. So I cannot recommend a good tech book, textbook or otherwise, except for our textbooks, of course. They're the best textbooks ever written by a human, or by an infinite number of monkeys with an infinite number of you get the idea. But again, I get recommendations like that all the time. People post them here on the chat feeds and things like that. So if anybody else has a favorite book, what's the one that everybody always recommends? Cyber, it's a cyber book, and somebody predicted why and how long and when we were going to be in the cyber conditions that we are now, and the world of cyber weaknesses. The title utterly escapes me. I did glance it over. Joey Quetzal, what do I do if my networking is showing a loopback, not an IP address? I need some more information, Joey. Your network is showing a loopback. What does that mean? Yeah, what are you doing to get this? Where are you seeing that it is showing you a loopback? Because I'm thinking of 3 different scenarios. Scott S is asking you if you're asking about an APIPA address. It doesn't sound like that. It sounds like you're talking about a routing loop or a switching loop, though you could be talking about a loopback plug that goes in for network interface card testing. So I need a little more information here. I would normally hazard a guess on something if I thought I had a good handle on it. Okay, routing loop. Now, how is it your network is showing you this routing loop? Because I cannot imagine in 2023 that somebody has a pair of routers set up that doesn't have some kind of bridge loop protection. They're all called bridge loop protection, even if it's a switch or if it's a router or whatever. There is a device that gets elected by all the other devices to be, they call it the master, and the rest they call them slaves. Don't blame me, I don't do this. You can't get on the internet on your laptop, and so you're assuming that you are looping back. Loop back, not my regular IP address. I can't get to the internet on my laptop. I can't imagine what that has to do with a routing loop, a bridging loop, or something like that. Reasons that you can't get to the internet from a laptop. Okay, we got 40 or 50 of them, but let's go with very common ones. Most common, you have an incompatible IP address. It's one that's not compatible with the network that you are connected to. You've got a 10 dot and it's on a 192.168.2 dot, or vice versa, or something like that. Reason number two, you have a correct address that is valid. Could it be a duplicate of something? For that, what you're gonna have to do is shut off your laptop, use another computer, and run an Nmap program, an Angry IP scan program, what's the other one? Advanced IP scan, something like that. Find out all the IP addresses that exist on your live network, and then check the IP address of your laptop. Number three, this is where I'm heading with number one and number three as my first choices. Incompatible network address, or this one, you don't have your default gateway set up correctly in your laptop. Okay, so it's got to know the IP address of your default gateway. If it can't get to or through the gateway, you don't get to the internet. There's also some issues about, do you have both your wired and your wireless interface intact? Tolowitz says IP release and renew. I'm going to bet that you have rebooted your laptop many times and still have the same problem, and that carries with it a release and renew, but it certainly doesn't hurt. Those are my offhand troubleshooting theoretical guesses. Recycle your router, says Scott S. I think that's a maybe. I am operating on the presumption that his other devices can access the net. He says his laptop can't. If his phone is, assuming he's is going through his Soho router, if other computers in his site can, again, resetting the router doesn't hurt it. Could there be something nefarious? Is there a firewall? Oh, how about a firewall setting in your laptop? Okay, check your advanced firewall settings. So there's lots of things here, but we're speculating with very little information. You've rebooted many times. About to burn it. I don't think you have to do that. But what you may very well be, and by the way, somebody suggested bad network interface card. Okay, not impossible. You can do a loopback test on that. Ping LB, ping 127.001. Now that's not really going to test your network interface card. That tests your IP stack. I will bet you many, many dollars that you don't have a network card that will test with a ping loopback. However, your network card may very well have diagnostics that are downloadable as a utility from the provider of that. So it's Cyber Monday. Get a new one. So yeah, I don't know. There's too many variables here, but we've given you a lot of directions that you can explore. Does the router see the laptop in its interface? Okay, so what Tullowit is suggesting that you check the connections in the router. Now, if you can't get out, can you get to the router? Can you ping the router? Can you ping, let's make a blonde-headed guess and say its address is 192.168.1.1. So many possibilities. The answer to this, we could troubleshoot this all day long and we'd just be shooting guesses. Joey Quetzal, go to the unofficial Total Seminars Discord channel. I think you already got an account over there. If you don't, let's throw the loop up again, the link up one final time today. Throw that question out there. There are lots of people who are champing at the bit to ask you questions and give you their suggestions and diagnostic tools and utilities. There's the link again. If for some reason you're not up there, I don't recall this. We've got almost 500 people there now. I don't remember them all. Will, got your email, sent you back a response. December 8th, looking very positive. I see wonderful things happening there. Yeah, you're back. Screenshot your IP config. Yeah, so run ipconfig/all and take a screenshot of the results. And they're suggesting posting it in Discord and they can look at it and figure out. Again, we will also need to know the IP address and subnet mask. You've been experimenting with subnet masks. You could be doing something creative there. And again, we need to know the IP address of your default gateway interface. Good. All right. Well, I'm going to do a contest, like it or not, because we got a good number of folks here. So this is for 90-day access to the Total Tester Practice Test of your choice. You can go find that list of whichever ones are out there on at totalsem.com. Whoever wins today, please contact me today and get me that info, and I can get that in the queue just as quick as humanly possible. I'm going to put up a multiple choice question. Really, I am. And I'm going to give you 4 choices to select from for answers. So all you got to do is pick one. You got a 25% chance of getting it right. And it is pretty easy, even better than that, right? Do I want to do it this way? Why the heck not? Why the heck not? And you will post your answer here in the YouTube chat feed. You may post one answer. I want to see people posting it 4 times and, oh, you got it right down there. It's a contest, okay? It's not a shopping mall. And I will pick from the submitted answers the one that is correct and who hasn't won too recently or too frequently. So, but everybody is welcome to play. If you are a frequent winner or a recent winner, just put the word pass after your guess. And I'm not guaranteeing that you'll be allowed to pass, because if everybody passes, somebody can't pass. And that's the nature of my beast. All right, so let me get this thing set up to post a question up there. What do I need here? I got this, I got it. That's all set up in the right place to do its thing. Today's the 28th. Okay, that's a good thing. And then we go over to this utility and drink this and touch that and smack this. Get the idea. All right. I'm going to put a screen up that is not the question, but will become one in very short order. All right, so these instructions, I'm going to come back to this for what the winner has to do. I will also post the instructions for the winner in the YouTube chat feed. So here comes the question. Really? The question is, this is from A+ 1101. Type in the correct answer. Which of the following 4 choices is not a vulnerability avoidance technique? 3 of the 4 choices are vulnerability avoidance techniques. One of them is not. You must post the one you think is not. Here goes. The 4 choices are: run anti-malware software, download the email attachments, run a host-based firewall, apply patches. Let me throw the question back up again, then we'll come on, I'll leave those up here. So of those 4 choices, which is not a vulnerability avoidance technique? Your 4 choices: run anti-malware software, download the email attachments, run a host-based firewall, apply patches. And I am now looking through the chat feed. Joey Quetzal, you just have a problem following instructions, don't you? Specifically says, do not post A, B, C, or D. It says, type in the correct answer. What am I going to do with you? Oh, Vivi. All right, so I'm going back up here. You're playing trace cert and It's so great. You can download stuff from I want answers to questions here. I heard you say drink. I see an answer that I think is a winner from not too far back, but it's not a frequent winner. So I'm going to put that in the list of possibles. Down here. And so I'm ignoring that. There's a possible winner. Put him in the list. Thank you, Will, for inventing your own answer choices. It's interesting. We got a mix of right answers and not so right answers. So that gives me a lot to work with here. I know that one's a frequent winner. Apply malware. You guys are hilarious. All right, I'm going to go look something up ever so briefly, just to see how recent or frequent one of those is. And so there are 2 people that I'm switching back and forth between for frequency and recency. Let me look those up. Stand by one moment. We go over to this tab and we search for all right, that was a winner way when. Well, let's see if that's the only. Okay, he won one time. Oh man, long time ago, December 15th. So that's a possible winner. And the other one, where's that list? This one. Really? Are you not in the winner list? That's exciting. Oh, no, that's why. Okay. Or I could learn to spell correctly, huh? All right, you won on January 17th. And again on August 3rd. All right, so you've won more frequently than the other person that I am selecting. So I have a winner. And the winner is, I must put this right here on my winner page. Stand by. You know, I do all this when I'm doing the back channel with Mike. You just don't see it happen. But when I've got to do this here real time with you, it all sort of happens in slow motion. Our winner is JM. JM won a long time ago, back in December. So almost a year ago at J space M. There we go. So JM, I have posted what you need to do to collect your winnings. And let's put the answer up here. And the answer is, which is not an anti-vulnerability, download email attachments, right? They obviously have to get scanned and you want to do that before you download them. So all of these things, by incorrect, downloading email attachment does not avoid vulnerabilities. And so that's the correct answer. Oh, I didn't put the incorrect answers up here. Oh, well, you get the idea. All the other ones are things that you would do to avoid vulnerabilities. So JM, you've seen this before, but it's been a long time. So you're going to send an email to me, Dave R at totalsem.com. Again, all of these are, I've just posted into the YouTube chat feed. Identify yourself and the YouTube name that you use when you won. So I need these 4 pieces of information in the body of your email. Your YouTube name, J space M uppercase, they both were. Your real name, first and last, the email address that you want me to send your access credentials to, and which practice test you would like. So the one that you won before is long since expired. And with that, congratulations, JM. 10 more minutes of show time. Oh, good announcements to do too in those 10 minutes. All right, back to questions. Jermaine. Hey, Jermaine. When does the book come out for CompTIA 1101? I really like hardcover copies. The answer to that is, so just to make sure everybody knows, the ebook is out. You can get it from Amazon. I was just looking at it yesterday or this morning, because yesterday I was driving home and exhausted and went to bed. And it has been available for several weeks on the Total Sem website. So if you gotta have it right now, it's available. Get it from either place. I think if you get it from our site, we get an extra $2, something like that. The hard copy. So there is, as most people know, a worldwide paper shortage. It's not an actual shortage of paper. It's supply chain issues, getting them to the right places. So print houses and lots of other places that need paper haven't been able to get them for many, many months. We've known for almost a year that our book was going to be delayed in hard copy printing because of how far back the queue was to get paper by the time we print our books. So this is December. They are, last time I heard, and it's been a while, supposed to print this month. Then it's got to get distributed to the Amazon warehouses and all the other warehouses that are resellers. And I know everything you do. Here's the way I find out. I go to Amazon and I go look up Mike's book, Total Seminars 220-110X all in one, right? If you get Total or Mike Meyers all in one 110X, that will tell you when the expected delivery date is. So know that they're going to print about 2 months before that. They're going to handle distribution about a month before that, and they're going to turn up in hand. So the last time I saw anything was February delivery dates, and I am not in the world that is in the know about those things above and beyond that. Apologies if you got to have the hardcover book. Everybody's in the same boat. Everybody who writes books in this thing, there's nobody, to my knowledge, of major stature like Total Seminars and like the 2 or possibly 3 other big names that are book writers that has quantity, at least hard copy books. We can call the company and say, print me 11 books because I want to give them away to good customers and signed. But we're going to print 1 million books or a couple 100,000 in the first run. They need a lot of paper to get that started. And our book is big. I don't know how many pages are in this book. I wrote a good bit of chapter 15, but that's it. And then my page count's probably only this big. But the last book had about 1,400 pages in it. So Jermaine, check Amazon. That's the long answer to a short, simple question, right? 53. Zach, I must have paused at one time because Dave hasn't said the winner on my screen and everyone is congratulating. You may have paused. Muhammad, the 1 of August can't be counted as I didn't receive it. Muhammad, send me an email. Because I won't remember from here to the time we end the show. But send me an email that says you didn't receive it, and I will go check with fulfillment people. Thunder Mifflin will save the day. Okay, the ebook's about 1,400 pages. So the ebook is identical to the hard copy book. It just doesn't have pages. Zach Morrill passed CEH today. Wow, congratulations. Kudos to you. Kudos to your study partner, Alice. Wow, that is just fantastic. That's really wonderful. That's a tough exam. So that's excellent news. Congratulations. All right. Well, let's do the wind up here. If you got any other final questions, now's the time to post them. Let me do the news of the week. I'm not doing news of the week, but I'm doing the stuff that you need to know about. So Wednesday, Mike will be here regular as scheduled as ever and always. And on Wednesday, he will have a special guest. He's bringing in our old friend, Doug Jones. Doug used to work at Total Seminars. He's a 20-year guy in the U.S. Air Force and missileer, and he joined a company that is a contractor to Boeing, if I understand all of this quite correctly. And Boeing, this particular division, is responsible for the networking stuff on the International Space Station and on the rockets that go up with them. So he handles the wireless network, the wired network, he provides support for them. And so do not miss Wednesday's show. This Wednesday, 2 days from now, to talk to Doug. He's a fun guy. He's an interesting guy. He's 6'5". I love that. I'd walk in the office being almost the tallest guy in there. Dudley, who hasn't been on camera with us to my knowledge ever. He's a very tall guy too. And then Doug, 6'5" at least. He might be taller. He may be 6'7", but he is just a mountain of a man. I look up to him, and I never did the cliches. I know what it's like being tall to some degree. Okay, so Doug is going to be here on Wednesday. Do not miss that show. My show on Friday. Man, this has drywall dust all over it. I'm going to show you how to use this thing or do without it on a Raspberry Pi. We're using a piece of software called Mix, XXX. So how to be your own DJ. And again, you can do this without a DJ controller for all kinds of really cool things. Do not miss my show on Friday if you're musically inclined or you're interested in DJing or anything like that. Good stuff. And then a week from Mike's show this Wednesday, next Wednesday, Steve Nicholson is back. He's been hurricane swamped and busy as all get out, and Wednesdays are his days where he is available. So that's the date that we picked, a date that will live in infamy, 12/7. And he's going to complete his discussion of the new 11.0x, objectives. And then we are looking to Steve in the future, at least on Wednesdays, when and if Mike isn't available, for him to be the face of fill in. So good stuff coming up there. All right, so if there's any final questions here, if not, we will. All right, reading messages here. Teleweb passing 253. Will he wear a funny Hawaiian shirt? Who? I'm the only guy that I know who wears funny Hawaiian shirts. I don't think Steve does. I know Tolowit does. He's hilarious. But I will have a funny Hawaiian shirt, at least a Hawaiian shirt of some kind on Friday, because that's what I do. That's my Friday uniform, at least for 2 hours. Zach Morrill, anyone counting on Discord voice after? I got a minute. I will throw the Discord link up one final time. In fact, I'll throw all the other links up one final time. I can do all that in about a minute, right? All right, let's start with the order that they are in my system. So here, first of all, the unofficial Total Seminars Discord channel invitation link. Next, the AMA specials this week, 50% off Total Tester and ebook bundle for 7 popular studies. The discount code on that is RACE, all based on an auto race. Here's Mike's email. Here's Mike's LinkedIn profile. Follow him, link with him. He wants that. And the same for me. Here's my email address and my LinkedIn profile. Follow me, email me, link with me. I'll be Odo. Link with me. Some of you got that. Some of you didn't. Look up Odo and Link. And that's all the stuff that I need to do. Friday on drama is Mix on Raspberry Pi. How freaking cool is that? It's going to be so cool. All right, last messages that I'm reading here, and that will be just perfect to close down. If it's Boeing, it ain't going. That is so bad. They tell that to a Boeing guy. You're just cruel. Andre's doing a paternal priority today. Well, it's better that than a paternity test. That's right. Patricia does wear a Hawaiian shirt on Halloween. I've seen it. She also puts a mask with a picture of Dave up in front of her face. Horribly embarrassing for me. You knew that reference. Linking seems, yeah, I knew you'd know it right off the bat, Wilshaw. All right, well, let's close this puppy up then. This has all just been too much fun. And apologies for Mike's absence. He apologizes. He misses you all desperately. And he didn't explain to me what the cause for his delay was. It was just something has come up. I have to do it. Okay, I accept that because that's how we roll. Anyway, so and as ever and always, my gratitude to Mike Meyers and everyone at Total and NCG who so generously provide us with resources and time for us to get together here whenever the opportunity presents itself for Mike's AMAs and for my dramas. This is the Mike Meyers AMA, and I am Dave Rush filling in for the big shoes today. Wishing you a great rest of the week. Do take care of each other. Take serious steps to stay healthy. If at all possible, call or visit your parents. And never forget, technology is great, but the greatest resource we have are you and I. And with that, good night. I see lots of people heading over to Discord. I will try to poke in, but I got a lot of work to do this afternoon, so no promises. I will see you working the back channel on Wednesday this week. And until then, I am out of here. Later.